I'm Dana Killian, author of the upcoming book, Becoming Unbreakable. I'm going to give you a preview today. Time heals all wounds. Everything happens for a reason. God works in mysterious ways. Bullshit, all of it. The last thing anyone wants to hear after they learn their husband has been leading a secret life, or when they're sobbing uncontrollably at their son's funeral, is that there is some secret, unknown reason this trauma has extracted your heart from your chest with a razor blade and then thrown it into the Cuisinart to emphasize the point. We don't want to hear that this trauma was destined or that some deity decided we needed a hard lesson that will make us better someday if we just pray harder. Tropes were written by people who haven't been gutted, people who haven't been forced to question every second of 25 years of marriage or haven't buried a child. Tropes are pacifying therapy speak language for people who don't know shit about trauma and can't think of anything real to say to your grieving face, or the words we repeat to ourselves in tough moments to make it feel like we're making progress instead of lying to ourselves. And sometimes they are words repeated in a small, dark therapy office while we quake with pain, unable to even remember what day it is because we hurt so badly. Now that the tone has been set and you're still here, let's talk about reality. Death of a loved one, divorce, moving, illness, job loss. If you ask Professor Google what are the top 5 traumas, these are the events listed. These are the events that knock us flat, the traumas that leave us curled up on the bathroom floor, feeling we'll never be happy again. Personally, I'd call moving stressful, not traumatic. And I'd put violent assault at any age somewhere on the major trauma list. But I didn't create the list, nor am I here to talk about magnitudes of trauma. If it feels traumatic to you, it is. That's all that matters. Trauma can be big, sudden, and life-altering. It can also be a chronic condition that sneaks up so slowly and relentlessly that you hesitate to name it such. Or perhaps you dismiss the trauma label because you're too busy keeping your world afloat to think of what happened that way. Trauma hits most of us at least once in a lifetime, and some of us are struck repeatedly when the universe seems intent on landing some cruel joke over and over, testing our backbone. The question isn't, have you experienced an emotional event that feels traumatic? You picked up this book for a reason, but what do you do about it now? Why do some of us crumble? Why do some of us become hollow shells of the person we were? How do some of us process our grief more smoothly and carry on? How do we become someone who is scarred but not forever broken? Maybe what you're going through isn't something you'd give the trauma label to at all. It just feels like one of life's tough moments, but you're struggling, and the hits keep coming, knocking you down and leaving you confused and uncertain about what to do to feel more stable in your emotional life. Loved ones have gently suggested that you speak to someone, but that feels like more than you need. These reactions are just part of the continuum on the emotional hard stuff scale. We don't need to have the big T label attached to it. A clinical diagnostic code doesn't have to be assigned to your experience. You're feeling crappy about parts of your life emotionally and trying to find a way through. We're going to talk about all of that here. And most importantly, we're going to talk about becoming unbreakable. And by that I mean a process to help you get unstuck when the challenges of life freeze you. A process to help you shed the endless, seemingly insurmountable trauma question, why? A process that challenges the completeness of therapy speak around healing and forgiveness. A process focused on you and only you. A process that will not only help you through what you're currently experiencing, but give you a toolkit for the future.